An uncertain beginning. On a chilly December morning in 2002, the world welcomed three tiny miracles. Mackenzie, Maisie, and Madeline entered life under extraordinary circumstances. Maisie and Mackenzie were conjoined at the abdomen, sharing legs, while their sister Madeline arrived as a healthy, independent baby. Their arrival brought both wonder and challenges, but it was overshadowed by their mother's heartbreak. Battling immense financial hardships, she realized she couldn't provide for them and made the gut-wrenching decision to let them go. The triplets were entrusted to the care of the foster system, their futures uncertain. But as fate would have it, their story was just beginning. Across the country in Iowa, Darla and Jeff Garrison, seasoned foster parents with hearts as vast as the Midwestern plains, were about to open their doors to an adventure that would redefine their family forever. A new chapter. Darla and Jeff had always been drawn to the beauty of helping children in need. With 3 biological children and a history of fostering 10 times before, they believed their family had room for more love. When they learned about the triplets, their initial reaction was mixed with joy and apprehension. "They'll need more than just a home," Jeff remarked, glancing at the medical reports. "But if we can give them love and stability, isn't that enough to start?" It was enough. Madeline, the healthy triplet, joined their home at just 4 days old, bringing with her the warmth of an infant's laughter. 4 weeks later, Maisie and Mackenzie arrived, their shared condition a testament to the resilience of life itself. Despite the challenges, Darla and Jeff embraced them wholeheartedly. "We didn't know what lay ahead," Darla later recounted, "but we knew these girls deserved a chance." The journey to separation. The road ahead was daunting. Doctors at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles prepared for the painstaking process of separating Maisie and Mackenzie. The girls were 9 months old when the procedure began, a grueling 24-hour operation that required months of preparation. Tissue expanders had been implanted in their backs and abdomens to ensure there was enough skin to close their wounds post-surgery. The day of the operation was fraught with anxiety. Darla and Jeff held their breath, their faith anchoring them as surgeons worked tirelessly. When the news finally came, it was triumphant. The girls had been successfully separated. Though each was left with only one leg, modern prosthetics and physiotherapy promised them independence and mobility. The Garrisons celebrated the victory, not just of medicine but of human spirit and love. Building a new life. Life on the Garrisons' Iowa farm became a haven for the triplets. Darla and Jeff legally adopted the girls 2 years after the surgery, creating a household bustling with love, laughter, and determination. Mackenzie and Maisie learned to adapt to their prosthetics through rigorous physiotherapy, while Madeline grew into a spirited sister, protective and encouraging. The family worked as a team. The farm became the girls' playground, complete with a horse they named Spirit. The open fields gave them freedom, a place to grow and dream beyond the confines of their unique circumstances. Challenges were met with grace, and no obstacle was too great to conquer. Overcoming adversity. As the triplets grew, their bond deepened. School brought its own set of hurdles. Children, often curious and unfiltered, asked questions and occasionally made hurtful comments. But Maisie and Mackenzie, with Madeline by their side, learned to handle these moments with resilience. "They taught us so much about kindness and strength," Darla said. "Even in the face of adversity, they chose to shine." The girls thrived academically and developed unique interests. Maisie had a knack for art, often painting vivid landscapes inspired by the farm. Mackenzie loved physical education, determined to defy any limits her prosthetics might impose. Madeline, a natural leader, excelled in debate and public speaking, often using her platform to advocate for inclusion and acceptance, blossoming into young women. By the time they turned 15, the triplets had blossomed into vibrant young women. Maisie and Mackenzie, though facing challenges such as severe scoliosis, tackled life with unwavering determination. Frequent medical tests and future surgeries loomed, but they approached these with courage, fortified by the love of their family. The girls' story began to inspire others. Their strength became a beacon for children facing disabilities, proving that life's obstacles can be stepping stones to greatness. The Garrisons, too, became an example of what unconditional love and perseverance can achieve. A lesson for all. Today, Mackenzie, Maisie, and Madeline are thriving, their lives a testament to the power of love, community, and resilience. They've faced challenges most people could never imagine, yet they've emerged stronger, driven by a bond that's unshakable. For Darla and Jeff, the journey was never about heroism. "We didn't do anything extraordinary," Jeff often says. "We just said yes to love." Their story reminds us all of the potential within every child, no matter their beginnings. It's a call to action for kindness, empathy, and courage in the face of life's uncertainties. As the triplets continue their journey, they do so as symbols of hope, a reminder that even the most challenging beginnings can lead to beautiful endings. And for those who dare to love without limits, the rewards are immeasurable. This story is an inspiring narrative of triumph, love, and the transformative power of family. It challenges us to look beyond circumstances, to see the potential for greatness in every life, and to celebrate the beauty of resilience and compassion. A new chapter begins. For Darla and Jeff Garrison, life had always been about opening their hearts and home to children in need. With 3 biological children and a decade-long history of fostering, they believed they understood the joys and challenges that came with welcoming a child who needed love. But when the call came about the triplets, they found themselves entering uncharted territory. The caseworker's voice trembled slightly as she explained the situation over the phone. There are 3 girls. 2 of them are conjoined twins, Maisie and Mackenzie, sharing their lower body. The third, Madeline, is a healthy baby. They were born in December, and their mother is unable to care for them due to financial struggles. "We're looking for a foster family willing to take all 3. Darla's heart ached for the triplets, but she knew this would be no ordinary foster placement. "Jeff," she said after hanging up, "these girls need us. It's going to be a challenge, but I can't shake the feeling that we're meant to be their family." Jeff hesitated, not out of reluctance to help, but out of concern for the unknown. "It's a lot to take on," he said. "Medical complexities, the emotional toll, not to mention balancing our other children's needs. But if anyone can do it, I think we can." The couple decided to take a leap of faith. Darla's eyes brimmed with tears as she called the caseworker back and said, "Yes, we'll take them." The first meeting. Madeline, just 4 days old, arrived at their home first. Wrapped snugly in a pink blanket, she was a tiny bundle of innocence. Darla held her close, marveling at her delicate features. "Welcome home, sweet girl," she whispered. The Garrison children, 2 boys and a girl, gathered around to meet their newest sibling, their curiosity giving way to excitement. 4 weeks later, Maisie and Mackenzie arrived. Darla and Jeff had prepared themselves for what they might see, but nothing could have fully readied them for the sight of the conjoined twins. The girls shared an abdomen and legs, but were otherwise 2 distinct little people. Their wide eyes darted around the room, taking in their new surroundings. Darla knelt down to their level, her voice soft and reassuring. "Hi, Maisie and Mackenzie. We're so happy you're here." Maisie reached out a tiny hand, gripping Darla's finger tightly, as if to say, "We're ready too." Adjusting to a new normal, bringing the triplets into their home, was both a joy and a logistical challenge. Madeline, though healthy, needed the constant care of any newborn. Maisie and Mackenzie required specialized attention, from feeding schedules to doctor's appointments. The Garrison household buzzed with activity, a mix of laughter, cries, and the occasional chaotic moment of misplaced pacifiers and spilled milk. The medical aspect was overwhelming. Darla and Jeff spent hours poring over reports, speaking with doctors, and researching conjoined twins. They learned that the girls would need an intricate surgery to separate them. It was a daunting prospect, but Darla's resolve never wavered. "We'll do whatever it takes," she told the surgeon during their first consultation. These girls deserve the best chance at life. Their days were filled with balancing medical needs and creating a sense of normalcy. Jeff took charge of bedtime stories, making sure all 6 children felt equally loved. Darla became the queen of organization, keeping track of doctor visits, therapies, and school schedules. Despite the challenges, their home was filled with laughter and love. Moments of grace. Amid the chaos, there were moments that reminded the Garrisons why they had said yes. One evening, as Darla prepared bottles in the kitchen, she overheard her youngest biological son, Ethan, talking to Maisie and Mackenzie. "You guys are superheroes," he said matter-of-factly, "because you're together and still super strong." Maisie giggled, and Mackenzie gave a toothless grin. Ethan's innocent words captured the heart of what the Garrisons were learning. Strength isn't about perfection. It's about resilience and love. These small moments became the glue that held them together. Whether it was watching the triplets babble to each other in their shared crib, or seeing their older siblings patiently help with feedings, the Garrisons knew they were growing into a uniquely bonded family. Preparing for the surgery. As the months passed, the focus shifted to the monumental task of separating Maisie and Mackenzie. Doctors began preparing the girls' bodies for the procedure, inserting tissue expanders to grow extra skin for closing their wounds after surgery. The process was painstaking, and the girls endured it with surprising resilience. Darla and Jeff found solace in their community. Friends and neighbors rallied around them, delivering meals, helping with chores, and offering emotional support. The Garrisons' farmhouse became a hub of love and activity, a testament to the power of community in times of need. In the quiet moments, Darla prayed for strength. She knew the surgery would be risky, but she also knew it was the only way to give Maisie and Mackenzie the independence they deserved. "They're fighters," she told Jeff one evening as they sat on the porch, watching the sun dip below the horizon. "No matter what happens, I believe they'll make it." Jeff nodded, squeezing her hand. "And no matter what, they'll always have us." A leap of faith. The day of the surgery arrived, bringing with it a mix of hope and anxiety. The 24-hour operation was a marathon of skill, involving a team of surgeons, anesthesiologists, and nurses. Darla and Jeff sat in the waiting room, clutching each other's hands, their hearts heavy with worry but buoyed by faith. When the lead surgeon finally emerged with a tired smile, the relief was palpable. "The separation was a success," he said. "Maisie and Mackenzie are doing well." Tears streamed down Darla's face as she whispered, "Thank you. Thank you for giving them this chance." The girls' recovery was slow but steady. Seeing them in separate cribs for the first time was surreal. They had spent every moment of their young lives together, and now they were free to grow as individuals. For Darla and Jeff, it was a reminder of the incredible power of love, faith, and the human spirit. This, marked by courage and determination, laid the foundation for the next phase of their journey, a life filled with possibilities, joy, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Building a life together. After the successful surgery that separated Maisie and Mackenzie, the Garrison family entered a new phase of life. While the operation had been a triumph, it marked the beginning of a long journey of healing, adaptation, and growth for the triplets. With the unwavering support of Darla, Jeff, and their siblings, Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline, began to build a life filled with love, resilience, and discovery. Recovery and new challenges. The first weeks post-surgery were grueling. Maisie and Mackenzie, now in their own cribs for the first time, faced the challenges of learning to live as separate individuals. Their tiny bodies bore the marks of the complex operation, and every small movement was a test of their strength. Physical therapy became a daily routine as they worked to adapt to their new prosthetic legs. For Darla, those early days were filled with sleepless nights and moments of quiet reflection. She watched as Maisie and Mackenzie struggled through pain and frustration, marveling at their determination. "You've got this," she would whisper to them during therapy sessions, her voice steady despite the lump in her throat. "One step at a time, my brave girls." Madeline, though healthy, was never far from her sister's side. She seemed to sense their struggles, often crawling onto their mats during therapy sessions to offer hugs or silly faces that made them giggle. Even as toddlers, the bond between the three was unshakable, a testament to the strength of their shared journey. Life on the farm. As the girls healed, the Garrison household settled into a new rhythm. Life on the Iowa farm was bustling, with open fields, animals to care for, and endless opportunities for adventure. The triplets grew to love their home, finding joy in simple pleasures like feeding the chickens or racing around the yard with their older siblings. The family's horse, Spirit, became a source of fascination for the girls. Darla and Jeff had named the horse as a reminder of the resilience they hoped to instill in their children. Maisie and Mackenzie, with their prosthetic legs, would giggle as Jeff lifted them onto Spirit's back for short rides, their laughter echoing through the fields. "This place is their sanctuary," Jeff often said. "Here, they're not defined by their challenges. They're just kids, free to be whoever they want to be." The farm wasn't just a physical space. It became a symbol of the freedom and possibilities the Garrisons wanted for their children. For the triplets, it was where they learned that despite their unique circumstances, they could dream big and live boldly. Navigating school life. When the triplets were old enough to attend school, a new chapter of their lives began. Maisie and Mackenzie, with their prosthetics and scars, drew curious glances from classmates. At first, the attention was overwhelming. Children whispered, and a few made unkind comments. But the girls, guided by their parents' wisdom and their own inner strength, learned to face these moments with courage. "People are curious because they don't understand," Darla told them before their first day. "Show them who you are, and they'll see past what makes you different." Madeleine, ever the protective sister, made it her mission to ensure no one messed with her siblings. "If anyone's mean to you, you tell me," she said firmly, her small frame radiating determination. True to her word, she became their fiercest advocate, stepping in when needed and making friends who rallied around her sisters. Over time, Maisie and Mackenzie's resilience and personalities shone through. Maisie's talent for art became evident as she filled sketchbooks with colorful drawings that captivated her classmates. Mackenzie's love for physical education led her to excel in adaptive sports, proving that her prosthetics were no barrier to her determination. Together, the girls turned their challenges into strengths, becoming an inspiration to those around them. Family bond and community support. At home, the Garrison family continued to grow closer. Evening meals became a sacred time for sharing stories, celebrating victories, and offering support during tough days. Darla often marveled at the unbreakable bond between the triplets, who seemed to understand each other on a level no one else could. "They're a team," she told Jeff one evening as they watched the girls play in the yard. "No matter what life throws at them, they'll face it together." The family also found strength in their community. Friends and neighbors rallied around them, offering encouragement and support at every turn. The local church organized fundraisers to help cover medical expenses, while teachers and coaches went above and beyond to ensure the triplets had every opportunity to succeed. The Garrison's story became a beacon of hope in their small town, a reminder of the power of love and perseverance. "They've given us as much as we've given them," Darla often said. "Their strength inspires us every day." Dreams for the future. As the triplets grew, their dreams began to take shape. Maisie dreamed of becoming an artist, her sketches evolving into stunning paintings that captured the beauty of the world around her. Mackenzie aspired to be an athlete, determined to prove that her prosthetics were no obstacle to her goals. Madeleine, always the leader, spoke of becoming a lawyer, inspired by her desire to advocate for those who couldn't advocate for themselves. Their parents encouraged these dreams, reminding the girls that their potential was limitless. "You've already overcome so much," Jeff told them one evening as they sat around a campfire. "There's nothing you can't do if you put your minds to it." The strength of love. By the time the triplets turned 15, they had grown into remarkable young women. Maisie and Mackenzie, though still facing medical challenges like scoliosis, tackled life with the same determination that had carried them through their early years. Madeline remained their steadfast supporter, her vibrant personality lighting up every room she entered. For Darla and Jeff, watching their daughters thrive was a source of immense pride. They had taken a leap of faith all those years ago, opening their hearts and home to 3 vulnerable children. In doing so, they had created a family built on love, resilience, and the belief that every child deserves a chance to shine. Looking back, Darla often said, "We didn't just give them a new life. They gave us one too. They taught us what it means to truly love and to never give up, no matter the odds." The Garrison's journey was far from over, but one thing was certain. Together, they could face anything that came their way. And for Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline, the future was as bright and boundless as the open skies above their Iowa farm. Growing into their strength, as the Garrison triplets, Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline, entered their teenage years, they began to define themselves not by their challenges, but by their strength and individuality. Life on the Iowa farm, with its rolling fields and warm family dinners, was the perfect backdrop for their journey toward self-discovery. However, the girls' path was far from ordinary, as their unique story continued to shape who they were becoming. Facing medical challenges with courage, Maisie and Mackenzie, now accustomed to life with their prosthetics, were thriving. They moved with increasing confidence, mastering their personalized prostheses and excelling in activities that required physical adaptation. However, their medical journey was far from over. Both girls suffered from scoliosis, a severe curvature of the spine that would require surgical intervention as they grew older. Doctors explained the complexity of the procedures, outlining the risks and recovery process. It was daunting, but Maisie and Mackenzie listened intently, their young faces marked with determination rather than fear. "We've been through harder things," Maisie said to her parents after one consultation. Her words, though simple, carried the weight of her resilience. Darla and Jeff knew these surgeries would once again test their daughter's strength. They also knew the family would face it as they always had, together, discovering passions and talents. Despite their medical challenges, the triplets threw themselves into life with boundless enthusiasm. Their teenage years brought a flurry of new interests and hobbies, each girl carving out her own path. Maisie, ever the creative soul, began to take her passion for art to the next level. Her sketches, once simple doodles, evolved into breathtaking paintings that depicted life on the farm, her family, and her dreams for the future. She spent hours in her makeshift studio, a corner of the barn converted into a workspace, where she lost herself in the world of colors and canvases. "Your art makes people feel things," Darla told her one evening as she admired a painting of Spirit, their family horse. "That's a gift, Maisie. Don't ever let it go." Mackenzie, in contrast, found her outlet in sports. Though her prosthetics presented unique challenges, she excelled in adaptive athletics, particularly wheelchair basketball and swimming. Her determination to defy expectations was evident in every game she played. "I don't want people to see what I can't do," Mackenzie often said. "I want them to see what I can." Madeline, the natural leader of the trio, discovered her talent for debate and public speaking. At school, she joined the debate team and quickly became known for her ability to argue with both passion and precision. Her advocacy extended beyond the classroom, as she began speaking out about issues close to her heart, including disability awareness and the importance of fostering. "We have a voice because someone gave us a chance," Madeline said during a local event. "Now it's our turn to make sure others get that same chance." Challenges at school and beyond. The triplets' growing confidence and individuality didn't mean life was without challenges. School remained a mixed experience for Maisie and Mackenzie, who often faced stares and questions from classmates unfamiliar with their story. Though they had learned to handle these moments with grace, there were still times when the weight of being different felt heavy. One incident during middle school stuck with Maisie. A boy in her art class, unaware of her story, asked why she walked funny. Maisie paused, unsure how to respond. Before she could answer, Madeline, who was walking by, stepped in. "She walks that way because she's stronger than you'll ever be," Madeline said firmly, her voice steady. The boy looked embarrassed, mumbling an apology as he quickly walked away. Maisie later laughed about the moment, but it underscored the importance of the bond between the sisters. No matter what they faced, they always had each other. Family adventures and milestones, life at home remained a source of stability and joy for the triplets. Jeff and Darla continued to create opportunities for their children to explore the world beyond the farm. Family road trips became a cherished tradition, with the Garrisons piling into their van to visit national parks, museums, and historical landmarks. One summer, they traveled to the Grand Canyon. Standing on the edge of the vast, awe-inspiring landscape, Maisie turned to her sisters. "It's kind of like us," she said, gesturing toward the canyon. "Complicated, beautiful, and stronger than anyone realizes." That trip became a turning point for the family, solidifying their belief that the triplets' story was a source of inspiration not just for themselves, but for everyone who heard it. Making an impact. As the girls approached high school, their story began to gain attention outside their small town. A local journalist, inspired by the Garrisons' journey, wrote an article about the triplets. The piece, accompanied by photos of the girls on the farm, quickly went viral, touching hearts across the country. Emails and letters poured in from people who had read the article. Parents of children with disabilities reached out to thank the Garrisons for sharing their story, saying it gave them hope for their own families. Teachers shared the article with their students, using it as an example of resilience and kindness. Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline were initially overwhelmed by the attention, but they soon realized the opportunity it presented. They began speaking at local events, sharing their story, and encouraging others to embrace life's challenges with courage and optimism. "We didn't ask for this journey," Mackenzie said during one speech, "but we're grateful for it. It's taught us that we're stronger together and that love can overcome anything." Looking toward the future, by the time the triplets turned 16, they were no longer defined by the circumstances of their birth. Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline had grown into remarkable young women, each with her own dreams and goals. Their bond as sisters remained the foundation of their strength, and their family's love continued to be their greatest source of support. For Darla and Jeff, watching their daughters flourish was a reward beyond measure. They often reflected on the decision they had made 16 years earlier, when they had opened their home to 3 tiny girls with uncertain futures. "We didn't know what the future held," Darla said one evening, watching her daughters laugh together in the kitchen. "But we knew love would guide us." And it has. The Garrison triplets' story was far from over. With every step they took, whether on prosthetics, in sports arenas, or on stages where they shared their journey, they proved that life's greatest challenges can lead to its most extraordinary triumphs. Together, they were unstoppable, a testament to the power of resilience, family, and unwavering love, flourishing as individuals and together. By the time Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline reached their late teens, their lives had blossomed into a tapestry of individuality, resilience, and shared purpose. Each girl had carved a unique path, yet their bond as sisters remained the unshakable foundation of their journey. Now, standing on the cusp of adulthood, they began to dream even bigger. Finding their voices. Maisie's art, once a personal refuge, had become a passion that resonated far beyond the walls of their family's Iowa farm. Her talent for capturing the beauty of life around her, whether it was the way the morning sun hit the farmhouse or the joy of her sisters laughing in the field, had drawn attention from local galleries. One summer, Maisie submitted a piece to a statewide art competition. It depicted 3 intertwined trees growing from the same roots but stretching in different directions. The painting was a profound metaphor for her and her sisters. To her amazement, it won first prize. At the award ceremony, Maisie's acceptance speech reflected her journey. "This painting is about family," she explained, her voice steady. "No matter how different our paths are, we're always connected by the roots of love and support. That's what makes us strong." The audience gave her a standing ovation, moved by her words and her work. Mackenzie's athletic triumphs. Mackenzie had turned her love for sports into a platform for empowerment. After years of dedication, she had become a standout athlete in adaptive swimming and wheelchair basketball. Competing at regional and national levels, she not only excelled but inspired others with her grit and determination. Her most memorable moment came during a national adaptive swimming championship. In her favorite event, the 100-meter freestyle, Mackenzie surged ahead, her strength and technique honed by years of training. She won the race, her prosthetic leg gleaming in the sunlight as she climbed out of the pool. Reporters flocked to her after the victory. One asked, "What motivates you to keep pushing yourself?" Mackenzie smiled and said, "I want people to know that limits are only in your mind. I'm not defined by what I don't have. I'm defined by what I do with what I've got." Her words struck a chord, and her story was soon featured in national media, making her a role model for young athletes with disabilities. Madeleine's advocacy work. Madeleine, always the outspoken one, had found her passion in advocacy and public speaking. Inspired by her family's story, she became a tireless advocate for foster care reform and disability rights. She began working with local organizations, speaking at conferences, and even meeting with state legislators to push for policy changes. During one such meeting, Madeleine shared her personal story with a room full of policymakers. "I'm standing here today because someone believed in me and my sisters," she said. "Every child deserves a chance to be loved and supported, no matter their circumstances." Her charisma and eloquence left the room silent, and by the end of her presentation, many were visibly moved. That day, she secured funding for a program that would provide resources for foster families caring for children with medical needs. Madeleine's efforts didn't go unnoticed. She was invited to join a national panel on foster care, making her the youngest advocate at the table. Despite the accolades, she remained grounded, often crediting her parents and sisters for inspiring her. A shared mission. Although the triplets had developed distinct passions, they shared a mission to give back to the community that had supported them. Together, they launched a nonprofit organization called Rooted Together, named after Maisie's award-winning painting. The nonprofit aimed to provide resources, support, and advocacy for children in foster care and those with disabilities. Their first major initiative was a scholarship program for foster youth pursuing higher education. With the help of donations and community support, Rooted Together awarded its first scholarships to 5 students, each with their own inspiring story of perseverance. At the inaugural award ceremony, Darla and Jeff sat in the audience, their hearts swelling with pride. Watching their daughters speak to the recipients, they were reminded of how far their family had come. The girls had taken the love they had received and multiplied it, creating a ripple effect that would touch countless lives. Love and lessons at home. Even as the triplets flourished in their individual endeavors, home remained a sanctuary. The farm, with its wide-open fields and familiar routines, grounded them. Family dinners were filled with laughter, stories of the day, and the occasional playful argument. One evening, as the family gathered around the dining table, Jeff raised a toast. "To my 3 incredible daughters," he began, his voice thick with emotion. "You've shown us all what it means to persevere, to love deeply, and to give selflessly. Your mom, and I couldn't be prouder." Darla added, "And remember, no matter where life takes you, this is your home. We'll always be here." The triplets looked at each other and smiled. Despite their achievements and growing recognition, they knew their greatest success was the love they shared as a family. Preparing for the future. As graduation approached, the triplets began planning their next steps. Maisie dreamed of attending an art academy in Chicago, while Mackenzie had her sights set on competing in the Paralympics. Madeline, ever the trailblazer, was preparing to start college with a major in political science and a minor in social work. While their paths would take them in different directions, they were united by a shared vision: to make the world a better place for those who felt unseen or forgotten. Their bond, forged through adversity and strengthened by love, would carry them forward. The legacy of love, the Garrison's story, once marked by uncertainty and hardship, had become a testament to the transformative power of love, resilience, and family. Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline were no longer just the miracle triplets who had been abandoned at birth. They were artists, athletes, advocates, and above all, sisters who refused to let life's challenges define them. As they stood together on the threshold of adulthood, they reflected on the journey that had brought them here. "We've come a long way," Maisie said one evening, looking out over the farm as the sun set, "and we've got so much further to go." Mackenzie nodded, "But we'll face it the way we always have, together." Madeline, ever the voice of wisdom, added, "And we'll keep proving that love and determination can change the world." With that, the triplets stepped into the future, their hearts full of hope and their eyes fixed on the horizon, ready to embrace whatever came next. Together, they were unstoppable. Stepping into adulthood. As the triplets, Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline, entered adulthood, they found themselves at a crossroads. The years of childhood and adolescence had forged their resilience, taught them the power of love, and bound them as an unshakable team. Now, the time had come to step into the world as individuals while carrying the legacy of their shared journey. Embracing new beginnings. The summer before college was bittersweet. The family gathered for a farewell barbecue on the farm, celebrating the milestones the triplets had reached. The wide open fields, where they had spent countless hours playing and dreaming, felt like a sanctuary they were preparing to leave behind. Maisie was set to move to Chicago to attend a prestigious art academy. Her acceptance letter had arrived in the spring, and it was a moment of pride for the entire family. "Chicago's going to be big and loud," she said to her sisters with a mix of excitement and nerves. "But I think I'll find inspiration in the chaos." Mackenzie had qualified for an elite adaptive sports training program in Colorado, bringing her one step closer to her dream of competing in the Paralympics. She had spent years honing her athletic skills and was now ready to prove to the world and herself that her determination knew no limits. Madeline, always the leader, had secured a full scholarship to a university known for its political science program. She planned to major in social justice and policy reform, fueled by her passion for advocating for children in foster care and those with disabilities. "This is just the beginning," she told her family confidently. "One day, I'm going to change the system for the better." Lessons in independence. As the triplets settled into their new lives, they faced the challenges of independence. Maisie navigated the bustling streets of Chicago, balancing her art classes with part-time work at a local gallery. The city, with its towering skyscrapers and vibrant culture, was a stark contrast to the quiet simplicity of the farm. Yet, she found beauty in the contrast, often sketching scenes of urban life, mixed with memories of her rural roots. Mackenzie's days in Colorado were grueling. Training sessions pushed her to her limits, but she embraced the challenge with the same grit that had carried her through life. On days when exhaustion threatened to overwhelm her, she would call her family. "Mom," she said during one such call, "every time I want to quit, I think about everything you and Dad sacrificed for us. That keeps me going." Madeline's university life was a whirlwind of classes, debates, and student government meetings. Her natural charisma quickly earned her a leadership role on campus. Yet she never forgot her sisters. Weekly video calls became a tradition, where the three of them caught up on each other's lives, offering encouragement and support across the miles. Maintaining their bond. Despite being in different states, the triplets remained inseparable in spirit. Holidays were sacred, with everyone returning to the farm for laughter-filled reunions. The first Thanksgiving apart was particularly emotional when they finally came back together. "You've changed," Maisie said to Mackenzie, noticing her sister's newfound confidence and strength. "But in a good way." "So have you," Mackenzie replied with a grin. "You look like a real artist now, with all that paint on your hands." Madeleine laughed, shaking her head. "And I still feel like the glue holding you two together." Their parents watched from the kitchen, their hearts swelling with pride. "We worried so much about whether they'd thrive," Jeff said quietly to Darla. "But look at them now. They're unstoppable, facing challenges together." Adulthood brought its share of challenges. Maisie struggled with self-doubt when one of her professors criticized her work, questioning her ability to succeed as a professional artist. She called Madeleine in tears. "What if they're right?" she asked. "What if I'm not good enough?" Madeleine's voice was firm. "They're not right. You've overcome more than most people can imagine. Don't let one opinion define you. Keep going." Mackenzie faced a setback when an injury during training sidelined her for several months. Frustrated and discouraged, she turned to her sisters for comfort. "What if this ruins my chances for the Paralympics?" she asked during a video call. "You're one of the strongest people I know," Maisie said. "This is just a hurdle, not the end of the race." Madeleine added, "You didn't get this far by giving up. Rest, heal, and then come back stronger." Their unwavering support for one another carried them through the tough times, reminding them that no matter where life took them, they were never truly alone. Making an impact. The triplets' individual successes began to ripple outward, touching the lives of others. Maisie's artwork gained recognition, with her first solo exhibit receiving glowing reviews. Her pieces often explored themes of family, resilience, and identity, resonating deeply with viewers. "Your story shines through your work," one critic wrote. "It's as if every brushstroke carries a piece of your soul." Mackenzie's recovery from her injury was a triumph in itself, and when she finally competed in her first international event, she won silver in the 100-meter freestyle. Her journey inspired countless young athletes, and she was soon invited to speak at schools and sports programs about perseverance and determination. Madeleine's advocacy work took her to Washington, D.C., where she interned for a nonprofit focused on foster care reform. Her passion and eloquence caught the attention of national leaders, and she was invited to testify before Congress about the challenges faced by foster children. In her testimony, she said, "I'm here because someone believed in me and my sisters. That belief gave us a future. Imagine what we could achieve if every child in foster care had the same opportunity." Coming full circle. One summer, the triplets reunited on the farm to celebrate their 21st birthday. It was a joyous occasion, filled with laughter, memories, and reflections on how far they had come. As they sat around a bonfire that evening, Maisie spoke up. "We've all gone our own ways, but I think the farm will always be home. It's where everything started." Mackenzie nodded. "And no matter what happens, we'll always have each other." Madeleine smiled, looking at her sisters. "We've turned what could have been a tragedy into a triumph. And I think the best part is, we're just getting started." Their parents, watching from a distance, felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. "This," Darla whispered to Jeff, "is what love can do. A legacy of love and resilience." The triplets' story became a beacon of hope for countless people. They proved that no obstacle is insurmountable, no beginning too difficult to overcome. As they moved forward into their futures, they carried the lessons of their past with them. The power of family, the strength of perseverance, and the importance of giving back. Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeleine were no longer defined by the circumstances of their birth. They were defined by the lives they had built, lives filled with purpose, love, and the unshakable belief that together they could achieve anything. A story of love, resilience, and legacy. The story of Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeleine Garrison is not just one of overcoming adversity. It's a testament to the transformative power of love, the strength of the human spirit, and the impact of unwavering family support. Born into circumstances that many would call impossible, the triplets faced challenges that could have defined their lives. But instead, they chose to write their own story. A story filled with courage, resilience, and hope. The power of choice. Every step of their journey was shaped by choices. Darla and Jeff chose to open their hearts and home to three vulnerable girls, not knowing what lay ahead, but trusting in the power of love to guide them. Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline chose to rise above their circumstances, turning their challenges into opportunities to grow and inspire others. Their story reminds us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can choose how we respond. Each decision, no matter how small, has the power to shape our future and the futures of those around us. The ripple effect of love. The triplets' journey also illustrates the ripple effect of compassion. Darla and Jeff's love and dedication didn't just change the lives of three girls, it inspired an entire community, touched countless strangers through their story, and sparked a movement of advocacy and change. The nonprofit they founded, Rooted Together, became a lifeline for children in foster care and those with disabilities, ensuring that the support they received could be extended to others. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can create ripples that reach far beyond what we imagine. Strength in unity. Through it all, the triplets never lost sight of the bond that tied them together. As individuals, they accomplished incredible feats, Maisie as an artist, Mackenzie as an athlete, and Madeline as an advocate. But their greatest strength lay in their unity. Their support for one another was a constant reminder that we are stronger together than we could ever be alone. Their story teaches us that family, whether by blood or choice, is a source of strength that can carry us through even the darkest times. And that bond, rooted in love and shared experiences, is unbreakable. A legacy of hope. As Maisie, Mackenzie, and Madeline look toward the future, their story continues to inspire. They've proven that no beginning, no matter how difficult, has to define the end. Their legacy is one of hope, a reminder that even in the face of life's greatest challenges, we have the power to rise, to thrive, and to make the world a better place. For Darla and Jeff, the journey has been its own reward. We didn't set out to be heroes. Darla often says, "We just wanted to love these girls and give them a chance." But they ended up teaching us more about life and strength than we could have ever taught them. The Garrison family story leaves us with a powerful message. Resilience is born from love, and challenges are opportunities to grow. In a world that often emphasizes what divides us, their journey is a reminder of what unites us: the ability to care for one another, to uplift those in need, and to create something beautiful out of life's trials. As we close this chapter, let us carry their lessons with us. To choose compassion, to embrace resilience, and to believe in the transformative power of love. Because, as the Garrisons have shown, it's not the obstacles we face that define us. It's how we rise above them. And in rising, we inspire others to do the same. This concludes the story. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please consider liking the video and sharing it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell for more captivating stories. Have a great day.